you look at the moon as a key feature of what's going on with family. And I think you mentioned that a moon in the 8th had been representative
No,
of
it was a one in Scorpio.
Okay, all right. Okay, in Scorpio, so not necessarily the 8th house, but in the zodiacal 8th house, if you like, the natural 8th house. And it had been an inheritance. It represented an inheritance in that sort of house that we normally associate with joint finances. So I think that's really interesting. And I think that kind of like adds.
Okay, sorry. You're right, because I thought you meant this person, a friend of mine, who had this trauma with her mom, who was killed. But you mean the one who who inherited the property? Yes, that was in the 8th house. Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm really pleased. That's my memory working well. I remembered that, but it's. I think it's really interesting how you will often bring the subconscious and the stuff that's going on underneath the surface to interpretation, and I'm learning a lot from you in terms of that, because as I say, there's sort of textbook cookbook astrology is, 4th house father, 10th house mother, and as I say, I've seen it work. What I've also seen about the 4th house, though, is something quite interesting. And I had a couple of clients with Neptune in the 4th house, and their homes were really glamorous. Their actual physical homes were really, really glamorous. I mean, they weren't by the sea, actually, which, it might be a Neptunian interpretation, but they were just these marvelous towering places, literally with towers, just very, very castle-like habitats. And so often when I see Neptune in the 4th house, I mean, if you were buying a house and you set a chart for this and you saw Neptune in the 4th house, it might make you think, well, twice. There could be flooding, there could be problems with water in the house and all this kind of thing. But it could just mean that it's a very, very glamorous house. It's that side of Neptune too. So I'm digressing a little bit from family, but I'm talking about home. And
Mhm.
I think actually that's really, really interesting to think about, because is the home, I've always said to my family, the place is yeah, we have a home, and we have a lovely home, and we love being at home together as a family. But actually, anywhere is a home if you're with your family. It's the family that are the home. A house is just a house at the end of the day with 4 walls, but wherever your family is, that is your home. I just think it's interesting to think about that. But yeah, I think the 4th house can physically describe the space that you live in as well. In terms of ancestry, what do you think about that? So you're looking at the 4th house cusp. Have you got any experience with a sign on a cusp and how that's kind of like materialized for a client or their family, or in your own chart, something like that?
Well, I've got experience of one client who had a mouse in the cusp of the 4th house,
Uh-huh.
and the person had like kind of it was related to the 8th house because it ruled the 8th house. So there was some.
Hi, Ollie, I've lost you. I'll WhatsApp you because I think the internet
Yeah, the
connection.
internet connection is today is
Yeah,
not very
I
good.
lost you a bit. Yeah, I got the bit about the Mars on the 4th house cusp, but nothing more.
Okay, so it's a client who had a mouse on the cusp of the 4th house, and that person experienced some aggressiveness at home.